Capsule, the assumption that the effects of financial incentives and one's social conscience and behaviors, other regarding motives or moral sentiments, have separate additive impacts on actor behavior and contractual situation fails in the majority of cases reviewed in the featured study. The interaction between incentives and motives often leads to an increase in economic self-interest at the expense of an actor's moral sentiments. Summary. Economists define a complete contract as one structured to contain external effects, spillovers, or the effect of one's actions on others, by having the actors, the principal and agent, involved own both benefits received and costs incurred through their actions under the contract. Rarely, though, are we able to frame complete contracts due to factors such as uncertainty and incomplete knowledge. A result of operating under inefficient, incomplete contracts is market failure or non-Pareto optimal outcomes. Economic contract designers will therefore use surrogate complete contracts to prevent market failures from occurring. A key assumption of the mechanism design community, which relies on financial incentives to guard against market failures, is that the effects of financial incentives and other regarding motives on actor behavior are separable. That is, policies that appeal to economic self-interest do not affect the salience of ethical, altruistic, and other social preferences, resulting in an additive effect on actor behavior. Therefore, contracts can be designed without reference to the psychosocial forces called the moral sentiments by Adam Smith. In Smith's theory, these sentiments can act as an invisible hand to guide the contract successfully. However, these mechanistic contracts are likely to fail because the separability assumption does not often hold, and the resulting interaction between economic self-interest and social conscience leads to the erosion of the latter in the majority of cases. The interaction is a positive one in a few instances. These findings are the result of a study reported in Bowles, 2008. For the study, Bowles reviewed the structure and outcome of 41 behavioral economic experiments reported in this literature. He cites 4 categories of reasons for the failure of the separability assumption: framing, or the creation of a situation by incentives in which self-interest seems to be the better option; endogenous preferences, or the long-term effect of incentives on the development of actor preferences; overdetermination, or the incentives compromise of an actor's sense of autonomy; and information content, or the effect of an actor's behavior by information the actor thinks is conveyed by the incentives. Implications for engineering education. Policies and contracts exist implicitly and explicitly in organizations. Educators are principals in the many contracts made with student agents. Failure to identify the impact of the interaction of incentives and other regarding interests on agents' behaviors may lead to unintended consequences, including student failure to persist in engineering studies. Consider the situation of a student reviewing the academic demands of an upcoming semester using posted syllabi, instructor evaluations, and informal student feedback. Long-term, promise of employment, and intermediate, admittance to a desired major program, goals may be seen as incentives to persist in spite of perceived heavy academic demands. In doing so, the student may negatively alter his or her behavior with respect to social preferences, such as participation in extracurricular activities and other community events. In the event that the student believes that the stress of the current situation and the concomitant loss of participating in valued activities are not sufficiently offset by possible future economic gains, he or she may choose to adopt an alternative academic pathway. Complicating the situation may be the impact of similar interactions and related subcontracts. A student will enter into several academic and personal contracts during a semester when enrolling in a given class, working on assignments, and committing to research or work-study opportunities, for example. Faculty and administration should be aware of the impact such interactions can have on retention persistence decisions.